Hey, everybody. I want to start off by saying this is not a topic that I thought I was going to go over in this kind of a format on a regular basis, but I think I'm going to have to start bringing it up more often. This is around scams. And the reality is that there are a lot of scams coming for retirees right now, and they don't sound like scams. It sounds like a phone call from somebody that already knows you. This isn't just like a gut feeling that I have. You can actually see where senior benefit fraud is up significantly. So the Social Security Administration's their Inspector General put out a warning a few months back, and we're seeing more clients coming to our office shaken up about this. Either they've had attempted scams, a few people have actually gotten hoodwinked by these things, and so I wanted to talk about it today. As you all know, my name is Matt Landon. This is an episode of Money and Meaning. And today I want to talk about this kind of fraud that's aimed at retirees in 2026 and why it's a little bit different and also why it works. And then a few things you can actually do about it. So the first thing I want to say is you got to understand that a few years ago, you could spot a scammer by picking up on bad grammar or a strange number on your phone. That's pretty much over. That way of catching things is pretty much gone. The calls coming through, they're using their real name. They're using your spouse's name, sometimes the doctor's. They're using your medications because they already have all that information. The Change Healthcare breach alone exposed thousands upon thousands of records. In many cases, it affected millions of Americans. So it was like all of your medical history could be out there. You know, a lot of that data is in the hands of people that use it for one thing, to scam you. So when a call comes in, it's not sounding like it's coming from a stranger. It sounds like it's coming from the bank or from Medicare or your doctor's billing office. And the requests usually feel small. It's just confirm a couple digits, just verify your account so they can update your COLA, your cost of living adjustment, just authenticate the new Medicaid card or Medicare card that they mailed you. So this is what I tell a lot of families. If you get a phone call and they ask you to confirm any kind of personal information, hang up. Then call back, but call back at a number you find yourself. Do not use the number that they gave you. Do not use the number that they called from. You go online. If they say they're from an office, you go online, you pull the number off of that company's website, and then call back. And usually you're going to find they didn't really call. And if they did, it's more legitimate. But one habit is going to protect you from more harm than any piece of software you could download or utilize. So that would be huge. The second thing I would say is this. The Social Security Administration is pushing 200 million Americans to verify digital accounts by the end of 2026. That's more appointments online. That's more verification online. And this is not a bad thing. But here's the part that a lot of times people are missing out on is that if you don't have your My Social Security account set up, someone else, especially if they have your Social Security number, they can set it up for you. They can walk in with the information they already have, create the account in your name, and reroute your benefits before you know what's going on. And the same is true for your Medicare account, your IRS account, your credit reports. So the takeaway here is pretty straightforward. Um, Claim that digital territory first. Set up your accounts, use strong passwords, turn on the two-factor verification. I know it's annoying. I don't love having to have my phone. I've got my phone with me all the time. Why? Because almost everything I log into requires a text message with a code. Some of it is a bind app or something else, but there's always that two-factor verification, and you have to have a second device for it. I don't like that we're on our phones all the time in general, but it is important for security. Strong passwords, but then also that two-factor. And make sure your spouse knows the logins too. The cost of not doing this, it's more than just the inconvenience. It could be months of cleanup and sometimes money that you really don't get back. Now, here's the part that people oftentimes miss. Most of the retirees that I know are sharp. You've run businesses in the past, you raised families, you're not easy to fool on a given day, but fraud is not engineered for a normal day. It's engineered for a moment of pressure. So the call comes when you're tied up, the email lands when you're distracted, you get that urgent warning, it shows up when you're alone. The defense is not being more careful, it's for having a process before the moment comes. So with the families that we work with, we recommend a couple simple guidelines, and these are just guardrails, really. But you could pick a code word with your spouse and with your adult children. If anyone calls claiming to be them in trouble, ask for the code word. What's the code word? It can be something that's specific to you or your family. that somebody else may not know. But if you've all discussed it and you're all on the same page, you should know what that code word is. You can tell your advisor and your CPA that you have a rule, something like no money moves the same day as an urgent request. So any emergency transfer is going to get a 24-hour pause and a call to a real person. I would encourage everyone to freeze your at all three major credit bureaus. That's Equifax, Experian, and then TransUnion. It's free. It takes an afternoon and it stops most identity fraud or theft in its tracks. So when the process, like the process helps hold the line. So when that pressure shows up, the process is what keeps you in place. So think about it like this. Here's a pretty basic checklist you can think through. One, set up your own accounts at SSA.gov, Medicare.gov, IRS.gov before anyone else can. Two, freeze your credit at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And then three, pick a family code word and share it with the people you trust. Four, make a rule with an advisor. No money moves on the same day as an urgent request. And five, if something feels off, do not hesitate to call your advisor or your CPA. This is part of what we are here for. And the reality is, this isn't complicated, but it does require attention. And the thing is, money is just one piece of what you've built. Most of what you have comes from years of working and saving and raising a family and creating something to pass on. And the hard thing about modern fraud is how fast it can take it down. You can have a lifetime of careful work and an afternoon of pressure can cause a major, major crack in things. So when we talk about protecting wealth, this is part of it. It's not just the portfolio and what's going on in the stock markets. Obviously, that's important, but we want to look at the whole picture. When we talk about your wealth, we want to talk about preserving your digital currency, your digital identity, along with everything else. So you want to protect your accounts. You want to protect your information. You want to make sure you protect the plan in case something were to happen. You need a team standing around you to make sure things are protected. So if you want a second set of eyes on your protection setup, you can visit Semmax.com. You can schedule a conversation with our team. I'd be glad to talk with you about it. We've got a lot of things we can go through. We'd be happy to walk it through with you. I hope this has been helpful. This isn't designed to scare anyone, but it is designed to hopefully encourage you to take action, because this is an important topic. Now, on behalf of my whole team and myself, thank you so much for listening to Money and Meaning. My name is Matt Landon, and I hope you have a safe day.